Okay. Well, thanks for coming. I'm gonna go through Aqua, the wallet which has been built and launched recently by Gen3. Gen3 is our company, actually founded by Samson Mao, someone who you may know. And then Samson was working for 5 years at Blockstream, one of the major Bitcoin development companies. And Aqua was developed there during his time. But then when he left to start his own company, he was able to take Aqua with him because he had a kind of vision that what he wanted to do with Aqua. Blockstream has their own wallet. It's called Green Wallet, and it's also a Bitcoin and liquid Bitcoin wallet. But it's more for the expert user, if you want. And we wanted to have a wallet that what we believe can onboard the next million or even millions of people what we need if we want to have Bitcoin adoption. So we're mostly known, Gen3 at least, is mostly known as the nation-state Bitcoin company because we talk a lot to political leaders and stuff. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because I'll have my talk tomorrow. But we're also a company developing technology for Bitcoin adoption. And Aqua is like our first product, if you want, that we recently launched. So what we wanted to have is, we wanted to have a non-custodial wallet because we believe that's important. We also wanted to solve some issues which I will discuss in a moment. But we also wanted to have stablecoins in the wallet because it's just an important issue, especially in Latin America. I also believe in parts of Africa. I hear a lot of people in Nigeria, for instance, using Tether, USDT, stablecoin. And unfortunately, most of those stablecoins are on other blockchains, like Ethereum or Tron, and we don't like that. We want to try to have those people use stablecoins inside a Bitcoin wallet, so later on they can move into Bitcoin. But so the idea is to have a non-custodial wallet, primarily designed for emerging markets, but it's also available in Europe, and we'll also build in some services for Europe. Something about that in a while too. So the challenges that we saw when building Aqua Wallet, I mean, there are mainly 3 challenges that we want to solve. First of all, we all know that the Bitcoin base layer has an issue recently with transaction fees. The memory pool, like, yeah, I know some people in the room are really illiterate about Bitcoin, so I'll try to explain for them a little bit, but Bitcoin is limited in the number of transactions it can do, and when there's too many transactions, they get queued, and then the one who pays the most gets handled first. So there's like a competition in having your transaction being handled on the blockchain, which means that prices go up. So today, if you want to have your transaction processed by the blockchain, it can be that it will cost like $2, but it can also be like $16 or $30 when it's at a bad time. This is unsustainable. I mean, if you go to the shop and you want to buy something which is $10 and you have to pay $15 in transaction fee, it's not going to work. A lot of wallets are suffering from this. So we need a solution for that. That's one of the things that we try to solve with Aqua Wallet. Then the second thing is that Lightning is a layer on top of Bitcoin, but it also suffers from those high fees. Because if you want to run Lightning, you need to set up a node, or at least you have to open a channel, and you have to keep that channel in balance. Doing those things require a transaction on the base chain. Again, those high fees. So a lot of Lightning wallets today have issues handling Lightning. This can be solved by companies providing custodial Lightning solutions, like you have Wallet of Satoshi. And those are, I mean, they're great as an intermediate solution in some cases, but they are custodial. So in the end, you don't want to have too much money in there. That's why we believe that if we can offer something which is non-custodial and offers Lightning, that is a win for everyone. And that's also something we have accomplished by building Aqua. And then the third part is what I told you, is having stablecoins inside a Bitcoin wallet. not having another chain intervene. That was also a challenge, which I will also discuss. But I think we managed to solve those three things. Today you can go down to aquawallet.io. You can download the wallet. We have it available for iOS and Android. Recently we did an update like 2 days ago, which also has the dark mode now. It says light mode, but we also have dark mode today. We also made it multilingual, and we are open to adding any other language. We just need people to help us, that's all. It's like a really small list of 200 words that need to be translated, but anyone who sends us a translation of that list, we can add to the app. So it becomes much more accessible for local people if they want to use Aqua. It also says that the code will be open sourced. In fact, it has been open sourced already. So you can go to GitHub, you can see the full code. It's transparent. We know that it's an issue with non-custodial wallets. You want to know, at least you want to be able to verify some parts of the code maybe. Not many people do it, but just the idea that it's out there, that it's open, is very valuable to some people, so we did it. We are still lacking biometrics and PIN. It was in the app, but we had some issues with people reporting, so we took it back out, but it's going to be in one of the next upgrades. Another thing is LN URL. Because we are handling Lightning through Liquid, through a swap, there is not really like a Lightning node that is being run by yourself or by Aqua. We do swaps through balls. That makes LN URLs a little bit complex. The next version will probably have the LN URL pay, and also I think the LN URL, what is that, withdraw. But then later on you will have like the Lightning address and the receive stuff, but that will come later. And we also urgently need, because now it's all in US dollars, but we'll urgently add other currencies like the rand, so you can have your values in the local currency. So in the end, it's like an all-in Bitcoin wallet that we want to offer. And if you go on the main screen of the wallet, you will see this, what's behind me. We call it like a savings account and spending accounts. That's what we believe how you should use Aqua Wallet. The first one, the Bitcoin, is just the base layer of Bitcoin. So it's transactions on-chain, and you can still do them in the wallet. You can still send out an on-chain transaction or receive Bitcoin on-chain. But as said, these are expensive, so you don't want to do that for daily spendings. But it can be that at some point in time, you have a lot of liquid in the wallet. That's the second part. And that you want to save that for the longer term. Now, it's up to you. But if you want to have that in the Bitcoin base chain, you can just convert it inside the wallet into Bitcoin and keep it into Bitcoin. You can as well keep it in the liquid layer, but we know there's, not everyone has the same ideas about liquid today. It's a sidechain of Bitcoin. It's a federated sidechain. We call it non-custodial. Other people might call it federated custody. Yeah, it's a topic we can discuss. But in the end, we believe that between full custody and full self-custody, there is something which is in between, and that's like liquid federated custody or self-custody. That's in between somewhere. So it's up to you. If you want to keep everything in liquid, it's safe there. But if you feel better having it in Bitcoin, you can move it into the Bitcoin base layer. Then under the spendings account, we have one layer to Bitcoin, we call it. We might change those names. We get different reactions from people using it, but it was not clear to us what we had to call it. But in fact, anything that you receive in that account is in liquid. But you can also use it to send to Lightning. So it's converted then from liquid to Lightning without you even knowing. It goes through a swap that is processed by balls. And when you receive a Lightning invoice, it'll go the other way around. So someone sends you sats from Lightning, and we will convert them for you into liquid, and they are stored into the liquid layer here. And then the second part, in this case, is Tether, US dollar, also on liquid. You can also, if you go into the settings of the wallet, you can also add a Euro stablecoin. If there's other stablecoins coming out, might even be like a local South African rand coin, which I believe does exist. But if they issue it on liquid and if it's safe, then we could consider to add it to the wallet. And that would allow you to have like a stable rand inside the wallet. But okay, we're not there yet. All those wallets are just covered by one 12-word seed phrase, also to make it less complicated. So you can back up your wallet just by writing down those 12 words, and they will, if you ever lose your phone or your wallet, you can restore the whole wallet, all those different layers, by using one seed phrase. Now, why are we using liquid? So we're using liquid actually, first of all, to solve the issue of the fees that you have on the main chain. Today it's possible to do it. It wasn't in the past. And there's still, there's still a fee for transacting on liquid, but probably those fees will even go down in the future. The Federation has decided that they want to push liquid because we need it for adoption of Bitcoin. And it might be that the fees get even lower in the future than they are today, which we do hope, because that would make Aqua even more interesting. But also liquid provides more volume than the Bitcoin blockchain does. In the Bitcoin blockchain, we have one block every 10 minutes. Liquid has one block every minute. So the transaction is faster. By the way, if we do a swap from liquid to Lightning, we do not wait for a confirmation. That is why instantly you will see the payment arrive, just like you see it in Lightning. We think that's pretty, it's needed, because if you make a payment in the shop and you have to wait like 1 minute, it may not sound a lot, 1 minute, but it is a lot. If you're just standing there in front of the cashier and you have to wait a minute, it's just too much. So up to a certain amount, we don't need any confirmation. Above an amount, we will have to wait for that confirmation. Also, something interesting on Liquid is that all the transactions that you do on Liquid can be kept confidential. So only the sender and the receiver have an unblinding key, is called, have a key to see what amount was in the transaction. All the rest is blinded for the people looking at the blockchain. So, and then I said the low transaction fees. And also the issuance of assets is possible on Liquid, like you have Tether. So you can issue more assets on Liquid. But there's other things, like in El Salvador, if they issue the volcano, so-called volcano bond, El Salvador, you know, they adopted Bitcoin. They have now, what's it called? El Salvador Energy or something. And they want to issue a bond on Bitcoin. That bond will be tokenized and it will probably go on Liquid. Those people buying the bond will be able to store the bond in the wallet. And when they receive dividends from the bond, they will just receive it directly into the wallet. Those are things that we can do on Liquid. And Liquid also has smart contracts functionality, which may help us in the future to build services into Aqua, like maybe a lending and a borrowing service, yield generation, those kinds of things, hopefully on a non-custodial way. So I talked about the stable coins, which in this case Tether, the most popular one. Inside Aqua, we built a possibility to send and receive to Ethereum and Tron, because those are the chains which are, dealing with 95% of the volume today. And it would be a pity that you have Tether in the wallet, but then go into a shop which is accepting like Ethereum Tether and not being able to pay it. So we build it in. Obviously, there is a cost to those transactions. We hope to lower those costs in the future, but On the other hand, we hope to pull in a lot of people that are now using an Ethereum or a Tron wallet. We hope to pull them to Aqua and to get them to learn Lightning, to learn Bitcoin, because we really believe that using stablecoins is a necessity today, especially in Latin America or in countries where you have a lot of inflation. People want to escape from that inflation and they go to a more stable fiat currency, which is the dollar. Also, Bitcoin is volatile, so not everyone can stomach all that volatility, and sometimes they want to put a small amount apart for a future spending. But we do believe that it is an intermediate step, and we hope that within the next years, I mean, we can just go to Bitcoin, but for now, we think it's needed. So what are the best use cases then for using Aqua Wallet? And I've had a couple discussions today here. It's really interesting because, I mean, you still have fees in the wallet, that's for sure. So sending like a few sats to someone is not really feasible in Aqua. We do know that. We believe that Aqua is like a real world use case wallet for making payments $5 and up. It doesn't make any sense to send a $1 amount or something. I mean, there's solutions for that. And every wallet has its own benefits, has also its own disadvantages. But I mean, if you want to be able to send some sats to someone, just use a custodial wallet, put some money in there. Okay, it can be, I mean, you can lose it, it can be stolen, but in the end, only let a small amount of sats in there. Then in the next step, you can move some of those sats to Aqua, for instance, and use them in real life. That's how we believe you should use Aqua. So you can do the Lightning payments. But what's also interesting that once Aqua is being used inside a community, it's also very interesting to do Aqua to Aqua over Liquid. You don't need to go through Lightning. You can just do Liquid. Same with the stable coins. I mean, you can do Tether to Tether in the Aqua wallet, and that's really interesting, I believe. Remittances is also a good use case for Aqua wallet, we think, because people from overseas can send you Bitcoin or liquid Bitcoin, and in fact, they can also send you liquid Tether. Just to give you an idea, but sending Tether on liquid is really the cheapest solution today. So if you're sending remittances, it should be logical to just send them over liquid, actually. And once you got them in the wallet, you can convert them or you can use them for payments. Yeah, I'll explain in a while, but you see those two arrows there? They allow you to swap between assets inside the wallet. And then, so the LN URL is also something which will come later. So if you have not downloaded the wallet yet, I put some screenshots down here. The second screen, well, the first screen is just the opening screen. We give you a tagline there, and we change that tagline now and then, just to put something nice. This is for grandma. But the second screen is actually your main screen. Most wallets, they will put your balance on top. We have put the Bitcoin price on top. We had some complaints about that, but it's something you have to get used to. Because in the end, I mean, what should we put there? We can put like your liquid balance. We can combine liquid and dollars, but you have them below. We also want you to use the wallet on a daily basis, and then when you open it, you see the Bitcoin price. You don't have to go to another app anymore. That's the idea behind it. We might change that later. We might give you an option to change it yourself, to choose what you put there. But for now, we've done it like this. And then if you look in the bottom, you see like those three icons. So the first one is the main wallet icon. And the second one is what we call the marketplace. The idea is for Aqua to become like a super app. We want to integrate Bitcoin services inside Aqua, so you don't have to open 2, 3, 4 other apps. And we can tailor those to the location that you're in. On top, you see like this, that's a flag. So you can set your location, and then you will see all the services available in that location. And that can be like an on-ramp and an off-ramp for buying Bitcoin or selling Bitcoin. That can be like BTC map. We're talking to them to integrate them into the into Aqua. Can be anything. I mean, I'm happy to talk to anyone who is developing something on Bitcoin and who wants to promote his service. And if we can make a deal, we can get it. We can get it in there. That's how we hope to make Aqua more usable for people on a daily basis. Again, for now, you have like two options. You have the buy Bitcoin, and I have to be honest. This is done through Melt, and Melt is like an aggregator. They offer on-ramps like Transact and some other ones. Depending on your geolocation, you will get an option to buy Bitcoin with a credit card. But I have to be honest, those are not the best options today. They charge a lot of money for buying Bitcoin. It's a temporary solution. We are looking into other solutions. We are already talking to European on and on ramps, also like Latin American on and off ramps. If we can get African on and off ramps, we're glad to talk to them, but we need to be able to trust them. We also prefer to work with Bitcoin-only companies. So yeah, that is what we're working on, and we will always improve that. We will keep improving on that. The swaps that you see is actually the same that you have on the three dots, but I mean, just as a short, just a short story that we had. When we launched Aqua, we put it into the App Store and the Google Play Store, and then Apple was reviewing Aqua, and they saw those swap functions, and they said, well, your wallet is an exchange. We need your license. And we said, no, I mean, we don't have a license because we are non-custodial. We do not ask for any registration from the user. In fact, we don't track anything in the wallet. That's also something important. There is no tracking in Aqua. But we said, well, we can't give you anything because those are third-party services. We're just connecting to them, and we're just providing those in the wallet. And they refused. So we had to take those swaps out again to be able to launch Aqua on the App Store. With Google Play, we managed to do it from the start. They accepted it. Now we relaunched Aqua, and we put the swaps under that screen there, but we still do not have the swap button there. And yeah, I mean, those guys, they look at the screens from your app, and this time they said, well, okay, your app is fine. It's approved. So the next step will be, we will try to re-add the button there. Might be they will not accept. We'll just keep it there. But we have to do it in steps to be approved all the time. So looking at the asset screen, the whole concept of Aqua is also that we wanted to have it as user-friendly as possible. So, I mean, if you have any ideas, we have a Telegram group for Aqua. You can go in there, you can make suggestions, and our developers are really listening to what we hear. So if we can improve on something, you're free to tell us. But all the screens are like similar. You go into one of those asset screens from the main screen, you go into one of those asset screens, and you select send or receive, and it'll tell you what to do. That's as simple as it is, actually. So for instance, if you want to send, you can also push the button on the main screen, and then it will ask you, what do you want to send? You want to send Bitcoin, you want to send Tether, Lightning, or Liquid, or even Ethereum or Tron Tether. And then it'll do what it needs to do. That's all there is, actually. The same for the receiving. You go in the screen, it'll ask you what you want to receive, and it'll present you with a QR code, or instead of Liquid, with the Liquid address that you can pass on. And this is the swap screens. So if you push that swap button, or if you go to the marketplace and select swap there, it'll present you with a screen that says, okay, what do you want to swap from and what do you want to swap to? At the moment, you can only swap between the assets that we have inside the wallet. Now, if you want to swap to something else, I mean, like I say, we have like a Euro stablecoin that you can activate in the options. But the swap function is not there yet. in fact, you can also go to the service that we use, which is in case it's SideSwap. Sorry, it's a SideSwap or SideShift. It's SideShift, this one. Sideshift.ai. You can go to that website. You can say, well, I want to swap from liquid Bitcoin to the Euro stablecoin. And then you can do it in the browser on the screen. And then it'll do the same thing. It's just that we have integrated all those services inside the app. So you don't have to go to a browser. You don't have to look it up, and so on. So the marketplace I told you about, I think this is quite a unique feature. No other app is offering that. And it should allow Aqua to become your bank in your pocket, actually, in the future. Because if you have some spending and if you want to earn some yield on that spending and we can offer you that, it'll all be in the same wallet. That's it for me. I kept it a little bit short. We still have like, I think, 15, 20 minutes left. But I wanted to leave that for questions, because I guess you might have some questions.
What is the business model of Aqua?
We make some small fees from the swaps that you do and from the money that you send from Liquid to Lightning. So it is very minimal at this point. But we hope that through integrating more services into the marketplace, that's where we will take a part of the fee. So if we discuss an integration into the marketplace, we will also discuss a kind of revenue share agreement, whereby, I mean, we make your service popular, we bring it into Aqua, but we will get some of your rewards paid to Aqua. That's what we do. The whole, I mean, the base wallet, as you see it here, with an empty marketplace, let's say, is completely free to use and is completely without KYC. So no registration, no KYC at the moment, and I hope we can keep it like that, and no tracking. Probably one of the most clean wallets out there today. Obviously, when you go into the marketplace and you want to buy Bitcoin with your credit card, they will ask you, but it's not in our hands, they will ask you to go through a KYC process. Probably when we integrate more services into the marketplace, they will also ask you to KYC. It really depends. We will have some services that are just free to use. We will have other services that require KYC to do. But we, as being Gentry, being Aqua, we do at this point we do not collect, and I hope we can keep it that way. We do not collect any user information at all.
Another one. I saw on the website, I think from January 3rd, your mission is a nation state adoption, right? So having like the UST components like complementary, or the wallet like having it complementary to that, to the mission. Will you plan on introducing also Taproot assets to support other fiat currencies in the future then?
Which assets do you mean?
Taproot assets, to launch other fiat currency or have to support other fiat currencies in the wallet, not only USDT?
Yeah, might be. I mean, we're looking at different solutions. This is just a start. I know Samson just yesterday, I believe, he was tweeting about looking into RGB to have into the wallet. Anything that we believe is useful for adopting Bitcoin, we will consider adding to the wallet. Yeah. I mean, we are not, it's not because Samson was with Blockstream that we are just linked to Liquid and that it'll stop there. We think Liquid is the right solution for now, but there's so many development going on at the moment that I cannot tell you within 1 or 2 years from now what will be the best solution. Might even be that Liquid is not the best solution and that we change the model. I don't think so, because I believe Liquid has the potential to become a payment layer with high volume and low fees. That is the commitment from the Liquid community, from the federation. And they can increase the volume, they can decrease the fees to make it really attractive within the next years. They also have the smart contracting. So I do hope that we can build on that. But if one day we have solutions that can go, I mean, you know, again, the same discussion, is Liquid a layer 2 or is it a sidechain? I mean, that's also something we can argue about, but I don't think it's really important at this point. If one day we can have all these solutions as a layer 2 without needing a federation, that's probably a better solution. And everyone thought that Lightning would bring that solution. But Lightning is just running into issues with opening and closing channels with the fees. And that will not go away because, I mean, I don't see it go away because I don't see the Bitcoin base layer increasing the block size anytime soon because that would require a hard fork. Let's look into other solutions. Maybe we'll find some based on a soft fork or maybe not even a soft fork. And in that case, we'll look into them.
Is there any way we can see the limits? You said for Lightning payments, it doesn't wait for confirmation. What's those limits in case somebody wants to use it in a shop? They don't have to wait 2 minutes.
I can't tell you just like this, but I believe it's 100,000 sats. Does that make sense? How much is that? Yeah, like $40. Yeah, I believe that's the limit today. Yeah, and I mean we can discuss with Bolts to increase that limit whenever we feel comfortable to have it increased. But I think it's a good limit to have. Also, I mean, if you have to wait for a 1 block confirmation, that is on average 30 seconds, because there's a block every minute, but it might just come in the next 10 seconds. So if you're lucky, it's quick. And I mean, if you're not lucky, it's a full minute.
How does Aqua, sorry, this is not a little bit more, but how do they get their fees? Because it's not in the Liquid transaction that they're getting paid. Are they getting it from SideSwap?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, the Liquid transaction, we can't get anything from the Liquid fees. If you're sending Liquid to Liquid in Aqua, we're not making any money from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you market the Aqua wallet? So, for example, people in South America, they want to, or they are looking for a solution that is making it possible to pay remittance. Yeah, so I don't know, like they don't know about you. How do you get to those people?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're just promoting it through Twitter, let's say. But 80% of our team is located in Latin America. So we have a lot of contacts on the ground. Sometimes, like when we launched, we also had like a launch party in Mexico City. Those are small things, probably like 50 people or so there. But anyone using Aqua, anyone who likes Aqua, we hope that they will also spread the word so we can get new users from that. It needs to grow, but I mean, we're quite happy within the first 2 weeks that Aqua was launched. I think today we're up to 9,000 or 10,000 downloads already. So it's going fast. And we also note that it's not so difficult for people to understand the use case of Aqua. So once they discover that and they recommend it to friends, it'll probably grow.
Do you already have some insights about what functionality is mostly used? As you said, you don't have any analytics built in, but
Yeah. So that's the big issue. Since we do not track anything, we can only get information back from the swap providers that we use. And they can tell us like, well, we had so many swaps or so on. But we really don't know anything about how much someone is spending. Is he spending through Lightning, through Liquid? We don't know. We also, I mean, we only know the downloads from what's in the App Store and the Google Play Store because they track it. But we don't know how many times the APK was installed. So it might be that we have a lot more installs already, but we cannot tell you. And I mean, this is something we want to stick to as much as possible. It's gonna be difficult because information is money, and most wallets that want to make money, they want to collect all that information. But with the ethics inside Gen 3, this is something we really stand behind. And we believe that we do not need that information to be successful. We'll see in the future, but I mean, yeah, let's hope so.
Why you don't like track anonymously? So I mean, what are the?
I mean, the source code is out there. You can.
Yeah, but why you don't do it? Like, I mean, it's very important for you guys to make the service better. And
Yeah, but I mean, tracking anonymously is not really anonymous, I think. There's there's always some kind of way you could probably link it back to the wallet. And I mean, yeah, you can download a lot of wallets and just go into the App Store and look at what they're tracking. You'll be surprised. With Aqua, it says no tracking at all.
I mean, you don't have to use a third party, and then you, for example, track that a person is clicking on a button.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we discussed. And for instance, I mean, we could do more tracking through Google Analytics, but we decided not to. Yep.
Sorry, I just want to ask. So if I'm using an Aqua wallet, can I make a lightning payment to, let's say, to someone using wallet of Satoshi?
Yes. So at this point, you can make a lightning payment to any other wallet, but only by using a lightning invoice. Yes. So if they present you, for instance, I mean, take wallet of Satoshi, they have like 3 options, I believe. They can present you a lightning invoice, that'll work. They can also present you with an LN URL, that will work probably in the next update. But then there's also the lightning address, and that is a little bit more complex for us to achieve. And I mean, we hope to have it, but it'll take a few months from now to have it there.
I was asking myself, because I've been using my Aqua wallet for about a month now, and I can make payments normally. What do you tell them? Make it easy?
You can, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But I was always asking myself, like, why is it that when I put in a lightning address, it doesn't want to work? 'Cause I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, what we are doing is when you make a lightning payment, we are sending liquid Bitcoin to Bols. Bols takes that liquid Bitcoin and they send out a lightning payment. So they need to have the details. They need to have the invoice details, if you want. We pass that on. You scan it, we pass it on to Bols, and they do that for us. With LN URL, it's a little bit different, because then you have to pull an invoice from the one that you're paying to. So since it is Bols doing the payment, we will have to do the pulling and then pass on that lightning invoice to Bols. So it requires an extra step. And we're in the process of building that, but I hope to have it there in the next release. But any other lightning invoice payment to any other merchant or wallet should normally use. We had some issues sending lightning payments to Strike over the last weeks, but the developers have been looking into this. It's probably a Strike issue, and most of the time it has to do with liquidity, I mean, channels between Bols and Strike. Yeah.
Can you maybe share an example of how much fees one pays if you have like a $1 payment or like a $1,000 payment from the liquid Bitcoin to a Lightning invoice? Because
Yeah.
like the providers,
Yeah.
you have you.
The fee is it's almost like a fixed fee, no matter what the amount is that you're sending, because the biggest fee today is the liquid transaction. The Lightning transaction is not. I mean, you know, a Lightning transaction, but yeah, but
for the next question.
okay. Okay, yeah. But so we are sending a liquid transaction to Bols, and then Bols is sending the Lightning. That Lightning is just a Lightning transaction, a few sats. But the liquid transaction is a fixed fee, and at this moment it sits around 250, 270 sats. So that's why I say it doesn't make sense to make a payment below $5, because that would amount probably to a couple percentages going into fees, and that's not what you want. But once you go up higher than $5, $10, that makes a lot of sense. And count around 250 sats for the fees. Now in the future, there are plans to lower the fees dramatically on liquid. So we might even be able to give you those transactions for a lower fee. But that's future work.
Sorry, so Bolts charges 0.1% from liquid to lightning over the 0.1% over the network fee, and then from liquid from lightning to liquid, it's another 0.25%.
Now there's no more questions. Sorry. Anyone else? Okay, well, I hope it was helpful. I would say just download the wallet. It's free to use, and experiment with it. Just try it out. Okay, thank you.